All right, everybody, welcome back to the Liberty Hour Part 3. Back here on Spreaker, streaming through Spreaker, and first show in 7 months, and I'm back with my good friend Ricardo Navarrete, who gave me the equipment to be able to do this once again. I want to say thank you for that, my good friend Ricky. We were talking about Apex and how it is basically... It hasn't overtaken Fortnite yet, but it will overtake Fortnite. Apex, right now, is like the T-Series to the Fortnite, which is like PewDiePie, who, by the way, will be the first to hit 100 million subscribers on YouTube. Go Pewds, even though he's only 10,000 or 20,000 ahead at the moment. But anyways, I digress. Back to the Apex thing. I think because it was free... And because, just like Fortnite, and it owes respect to Fortnite, obviously, in those terms, but because it does have that Call of Duty vibe, and there's no building, so it's purely a shooter game, I think that drew a lot of people in just because of that alone, because some people are probably getting sick of the cartoony aspect of Fortnite, wanting something at least a little bit more realistic, and I think that that's kind of what, overall, in my opinion, drew them in, plus, it's Apex's first person, Fortnite's third person. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. I think people are like first person because to them it feels more interactive, and that's just my thoughts on it. I don't know how you feel about that. If there's anything you want to add to that.
No, yeah, dude, that's a completely fair statement right there. Like that's again what I was going to like everybody's played first-person shooters. Well, most people who are like gaming fanatics have played first-person shooters at some point in their life because they're literally everywhere. So that's why I was saying Apex literally would just been any other first-person shooter if it wasn't for the whole free-to-play battle royale publicity thing that Fortnite started off. But yeah, I completely agree. The reason I liked playing Apex was because I was so familiarized with it. Like with Fortnite, I'm trash. Like I can't build. I can't shoot people when I'm aiming, looking at the back of like my person. Like it's weird to me. Like the whole third person stuff was weird. But the first person shooter stuff, that's stuff I grew up on. That's the easier stuff. It's easier for me to aim. It's like it feels more faster paced. Like when I'm running, I can see my hands, and like it like feels more interactive, like you said. So I think that is another big reason why like more people went to Apex is because they're like, oh, okay, yeah, screw the whole building, screw making a house just to fortify something and just to get one kill. This is like, let's just go run, slide, shoot somebody like through our little sights, and then boom, like we feel like a beast. Like it's a completely different feel. But yeah, like I completely agree with like that's why more people were drawn in because it was more interactive as a first-person shooter. It was more familiar to everybody too.
Yeah, and there's so many people that are streaming the game too, and to me personally, Apex is much harder to get kills on and stuff. But I think that almost that's a little bit more realistic, which is kind of almost a good thing. One thing I have to comment on, Ricky, I apologize, but I think you completely flipped the border of flipped the world map of North America. What I mean by that is you sounded fucking Canadian. A couple of things you said in the last couple of minutes.
I sound Canadian?
You're like un or oop. You said up or on.
Sorry, bro.
No, I'm just laughing because I was like, no, dude, this dude's freaking Mexican. We're freaking in Canada.
No, dude, you're good. It's just me and my like speaking behind the mic stuff. It's still not fully there. That's why I'm trying to get better at it at KSSU. I mean, you can hear me on my show. Like I still stutter so much more on my show. Believe me, because when I'm on my show, like I'll start talking about random stuff, and then I'll just start stuttering even worse. And I'm like, oh, you guys didn't hear that, or oh, I meant this, or oh, blah blah blah.
Well, hey, there you go. See, this is training for you. Then there you go.
Yeah, bro, we out here.
Dude, but honestly, in getting back to Sac State and relating to the game thing, dude. Honestly, I know you haven't. Dude, when was the last time we freaking played games? Dude, we haven't had time for shit.
Dude, last time we played was FIFA, but that was only like very quickly. Before, dude, like the last time we played for over an hour, dude. I couldn't tell you. It's been a while.
Honestly, after I print out the stuff that I need to tonight, we should probably. I don't know if you have time, but shit, we can get on, maybe play something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude. Just let me finish my 2 group homeworks and my quiz, and then yeah, I might have time to play until like, true. I might be able to hop on around like 1 a.m. and then play till like 2:30.
True.
I'm just kidding. No, dude. No, yeah, dude. I'm just joking. But like on the real, I always do have homework. But yeah, we should be able to get on tonight.
That's what's up. Cool. Well, hey, no, we were talking about, just Fortnite just now, obviously in relation to Apex, and and transitioning out of that, but still kind of staying on the subject. About a month ago or so, and I know that you were going crazy over this because I was in the same freaking lobby as you. I forget
Mm-hmm.
who else was in the lobby with us, but
No, JC.
oh yeah, JC, yeah. Marshmello had a live concert on Fortnite, and that just brings a whole new definition into what interactive gaming is. And it actually was truly live because he was live doing it, which is so phenomenal. It's just a 10-minute segment at 11 in the morning and then a 10-minute segment at 11 at night. We both caught the 11 at night one. And Ricky,
Mm-hmm.
I know that you were reading some stats on KSSU during your show a few weeks ago on this,
Mm-hmm.
so you probably know a little bit more on this than I do. But overall, like, what are your thoughts on this, and what this can mean for the future of interactive gaming? And then just what do you got to say about Marshmello and what he was capable of doing?
All right, dude. Well, honestly, I mean, I could go on about this forever. Believe me, I literally pretty much did on my show that day it happened, like the day it was like fresh out of our minds. But I'm kind of more curious, like as to what you think. So like, I'll keep it shorter this time. But I just think this is like a start to the future. And I know it sounds stupid coming from a 20-year-old who's just at home and going to school, whatever. But seriously, like again, going back to this whole like publicity stuff, Marshmello teaming up with Fortnite. Marshmello was already like rising into the whole like pop genre and stuff. Like now that he's been collaborating more with artists and he's getting more on the radio, and then Fortnite's been around for a while. And then like you said earlier, Fortnite has kind of been dying off too. So some people probably started like leaving Fortnite and stopped playing it. But when they heard about this, it brought in more and more people. And one, not only brought like the old Fortnite players back, it two brought in new Fortnite players because they know who Marshmello was. And then three, it literally just got everybody talking about it all over the news once it happened. And like the thing is, it was a live event from at 11 in the morning. I think it wasn't from 11 to 11 p.m. It was at 11 in the morning.
What I said is
No,
that there
no,
was one that was at 11 in the morning, and one that was at 11 at night.
no, yeah. No, no, yeah, my bad. That was my bad. I was just trying to think. I think the 11 a.m. one was the live one. Well, yeah, clearly that was the live one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when he did it live. I didn't know about that, but yeah, I guess the man himself, Marshmello, or .com for those of you who don't know who Marshmello really is, he performed like from what was it, like 11 to 11:10. It was only a 10-minute thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only like a 10-minute thing. He performed it live, and then for everybody who missed it, there was an encore event later that night. Like for everybody who forgot, for everybody who didn't know, or for everybody like who just wasn't playing Fortnite at all that week and didn't know about it. Yeah, they all like talked about it, and then he's like, "All right, yeah, let's do another one at 11 p.m." And then the thing is, if I remember correctly, just in his first show, he had over 10 million people. Like Fortnite had a concurrent player count of over 10 million players on the servers at 11 a.m. that day when Marshmello was doing his thing. And that was just for the first show. After that, he did the one at 11 p.m. And I don't know, I don't remember the stats for that show. I don't think I ever got the stats for that. But like, if you really think about it, just the first show and the second show put together are probably already over a good like 25 million. There's probably more people for the second show because people for the first show could have come back, and then newer people who forgot about it could have been there for the second one, like us. Like that's insane, dude. To have like 25 plus million people listening to you live, and again, the second one doesn't count as live because it was re-recorded. But okay, let's talk about the first one. To have 10 million people live in the game, just like waiting for you and like jumping around and dancing and like yelling at each other over the party chats and stuff. Like 10 million people across the world got to experience this for free.
That's
like
crazy.
that's like remember Fortnite is a free game to play. Like it's free on phones, laptops, everything. So you could literally just make an account right then and there and jump into the game just to go listen to Marshmello, watch him play, and like jump around, fly around at some points. Just bounce around, throw beach balls everywhere, or happier balls, whatever you want to call them. But I don't know, dude. I said I was gonna keep this short, and look at me, look what I did again. I literally have gone on. I turned back to what I did at my show, but I think this is literally gonna be the future of what virtual EDM concerts could be. Like people having their own avatars, their own expressions, be able to dance out how they want to, talking to the people around them, while there's a live artist right there that's like, playing and performing for them. And like, who knows, in the future, they might be able to get live feedback like, hey, put some questions and answers on Instagram. And right then and there in the game, artists could be looking at their live Q&As from Instagram and like talking about
That's
it
crazy.
right there. Like that's what I'm saying. It could get to that point. Like imagine what we're doing right now. Imagine if we were in Fortnite, like talking behind two desks, and there's just a bunch of people surrounding us, like looking at us talking. Like that's literally what could happen. That's virtual reality.
Well, here's what's crazy about technology, too. I mean, you look at how, crazy technology has been over the last 25, 30, 40 years alone. You look towards the future, 25, 30, 40 years, obviously this is obviously going to be something that's going to happen. This could happen within the next 3 years for all we know. I mean, eventually it's going to get so crazy, technology-wise. I mean, virtual reality is already a thing in some respects, and that was something that people were talking about as just like a myth like 10 years ago. I mean, that shows you how crazy it is. I mean, the first iPhone was released like, 12, 13 years ago. And look now, it's absolutely crazy. But getting back to the marshmallow side of things, I mean the dude's freaking phenomenal. The way he has came up in the last 4 or 5 years alone is insane. He's 26. And obviously, a lot of these artists who are DJs are very young, that are at the top. But he already, in terms of, and this was at the end of 2018, according to EDM Hunters, he was the
Mhm.
10th. I don't know what they rank this on, if they rank this off of total sales or what, but he
Mhm.
was 10th DJ in the world. And then I'm looking at this report that Marshmello, the 26-year-old DJ and producer, just landed a residency deal worth a whopping $60 million at Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, and he will play several dozens of gigs at the venue, ranking in, quote, a bit short of $1 million nightly, according to Forbes. What the That's
Dude,
insane!
this guy, man.
That's
You know what's crazy though,
insane!
dude? If you like, I don't know how many people notice this. I know me and my girlfriend always talk about this stuff. But the crazy thing is, like, to EDM artists and DJs, like, money's nice, but like, fame is never really an issue, or like, it never like really gets to people. Like, the thing I love about Marshmello or any EDM artist like Alan Walker is they'll look for underground singers and other artists to collab with. I don't know if you noticed, but like a lot of Marshmello songs, like usually have other people you never hear about, or a lot of Alan Walker songs have people you never hear about and stuff. And that's what I love about EDM people. Like they can be racking up money, but like it never gets to them. It's like, but like I didn't even know about this whole $60 million thing, honestly. But like it blows my mind because even then, like I know like Marshmello, like yeah, he probably cares to have money, but he could care less about how much he has as long as he can support himself and like still be out there and still do the things he loves. I don't know. That's just completely sidetracked, but I just want to throw that out there just because I got to shout out to EDM artists who just always collaborate with underground artists and give them a chance.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you always start from somewhere. And hey, Ricky, this could be you, bro. This could be you in a couple of years, for all we know.
I know, dude.
Which actually
Man.
that gets me into the next issue, which I was actually going to ask you about, and this will probably go into our next part. Is
Mhm.
how's music been going with you? By the way, how have you been able to? Obviously, I know you've been really busy with school, but over the last 6 months, have you been able to create really anything? How's that been going for you?
Come on, bro. Just real quick, just before we completely cut off the Fortnite topic, I just want to remember. I don't know if you remember, but your very first show when we like first tried this like years ago, I was actually playing Fortnite with Daniel for the first time.
Oh, that's great! How
That's
funny!
just a little fun fact. Very first show, and now look, we're back. Except this time I'm not playing Fortnite because Fortnite is dead now. No, but anywho, my music, I guess. Honestly, dude, I'm not doing as hot with my music as I'd want to be, just because back then I was able to, you know, be on FL Studio all the time. FL Studio is what I used to make music, by the way. I was used to be able to like be on there for hours and make music and whatnot. But this semester, dude, like ever since I got back from Mexico and stuff, I have not had any chance to make music as much as I want to. Like I haven't had the chance to make a full length song. I haven't really had a chance to mess with as much stuff. I've only really come out with like two potential songs. One Marshmallow inspired one, ironically, and then another like future house kind of type song. but I never really teased it anymore. I teased it in the beginning, but then I stopped teasing it because I never had time to work on it.
Ricky, I'm sorry I
Because
have to
school.
cut you off again. That's the end of part 3. We'll be right back with part 4.
You're good. You're good.